Small caps have been brutal lately. Nothing's been holding up. If you guys couldn't tell already, everything seems to break out and then fades off. So, like, what's going on, essentially? So, I'm going to get into that right after I go over some of the stocks that popped up today and what was up with them. So, CTM was the first one I saw sitting down. Nothing special. Popped up, rolled over, penny stock, high float. Not my type of stock, to be honest with you. I like to look for stocks that are up 50%, have 7 times relative volume, under 10 million float, $3 or above. My window's 730 to 10. Overall volume, over 25 million. MACD's positive. It's holding VWAP, EMAs. And I like to preferably see on the 1 minute chart we have at least, 100,000 plus volume on a candle before an entry, ideally. So you can see this CMND popped up at the very beginning, early on at 7:30, but it didn't hold up. It didn't hold VWAP whatsoever and just rolled right over. So this is how like everything's been performing today. INTS popped up too, and INTS, was another penny stock that popped up, had this huge drop right here. Holy I did not see that. That is a huge drop, bro. If you got wiped out by that, I like, my condolences, brother. You get it tomorrow, though. I believe in you. But, I mean, you did have a squeeze up yesterday. Was it continuation? Oh, announced. No, they had, oh, okay. It was an offering. Okay. What was the offering price for, though? Do they have the direct offering? If y'all know the price, let me know. I don't know. I mean, I guess it don't matter. I don't need to know. But anyway, it was 41 million share float, another higher float penny stock. It's just, is not what I'm going to trade. And I haven't seen anything that I'm going to trade. Like, I've had like so many no trade days. October has been my toughest month for sure. I think since I started trading. I mean, August was a little rough, but not like this. I mean, this is ridiculous. I knew when SSTK popped up, it was going to roll over because this thing is normally known for chopping up from my experience of trading it. So, I mean, and by this point, I walked away at like 8:30. So, I didn't stay any longer. There was no reason to. Everything just kept folding over. Why would I stay? You've probably noticed it, how much the stocks have been rolling over. So why now? I think that big money's tightening up and the rates are higher, which means risk appetite's lowering. So institutions are selling in large caps, and that's why large caps been popping off. But retail traders aren't chasing every ticker anymore. And then you add in dilution and companies start dumping shares in every pop, and then momentum dies out faster. So, it's not the setups, it's the environment of what's going on. So in this cycle, we got to ask ourselves, do we really want to be trading, enforcing trades in this market? Which is why I just kind of like have been walking away earlier, because if I stay, I take trades out of boredom. Like, I have to get up and walk away. That's why I got like left at 8:30. If I would have stayed till 9:30, I probably would have took a C quality setup that I would have later regretted, which is why we got to be so disciplined about what we're willing to stay for and what we're willing to trade. And you got to have protocols that work for you. So like what works for me is just knowing that if I don't take any trades in that first hour, I need to walk away from my computer, just shut it down, and I didn't really see anything else happening, going on the rest of the day. Maybe something pops up and I miss it, but I'm not really going to be that upset, to be honest. But I think we need to look at the bigger picture here, right? So, I think it's IWM. Yeah, Russell 2000. So, historically, every bearish small cap cycle ends the same way, right? First comes frustration, and then we get boredom, and then out of boredom, we start trading more. But then out of nowhere, we get this huge momentum that floods back out of nowhere. So I think right now we're just in this quiet stretch, and it's the setup before the next phase. And the market always rotates back, into a bearish or a bullish cycle, bearish cycle. I mean, it always goes back and forth. You look at 2023 where you had this year of a slow market, and then even this year where we had momentum come back in last October, November, December, started the new year off with this huge momentum. August it slowed down, and then September was kind of in the middle. I'd say it was more bullish than anything, but in that now we're in October, and October's showing the same signs, and we're at a decline, but we're still moving up. It's just a choppy bit right here. So I think big picture, we should just know that it's just a cycle at the end of the day, and we're just in the quiet stretch. So I don't think small caps are dying or are dead in any way. I just think right now it's that quiet phase, and we just need to hold through. Now, I don't know if it has to do with the government shutdown. I mean, that could be playing somewhat of a part. People being or having less risk appetite towards taking bigger share size, maybe keeping bigger players out who are just taking their time with it, whatever, waiting for it all to settle. I don't know. I think we're going to see more action within the next week or two. I would think November would pick back up. I could be wrong, but that's what I would think. So I would just, stay patient, stay disciplined, and remember that it's not about chasing the market. It's about reading it and understanding that these market cycles do happen on a daily basis.